imagine a world with nothing but silence? Right now, there are approximately 28 million people affected by impaired hearing in the United States. Some studies show us that children are more affected by being deaf because of the delay in the learning it causes. Children are forced to learn sign language and how to read lips instead of the academics. A lot of people use cochlear implants to bring back some hearing, but most people rely on sign language. That information can be given at livestrong.com. In the 16th century, Geronimo Cardano, a physician in Padua, Italy, proclaimed that deaf people could be taught to understand written combinations of symbols by associating the term with what it represented. The first book with a manual alphabet for deaf people was published in 1620 by Juan Pablo de Bonet. In 1755, Abbé Charles Michel de l'Épée of Paris founded the first free school for deaf people. This school taught deaf people how to communicate with each other in the hearing world with gestures, thus creating sign language. In 1817, Hopkins of Gallaudet founded America's first school of deaf people in Hartford, Connecticut. Laurent Clerc was the first teacher in the U.S. to teach sign language. An important milestone in the history of education for deaf people was founding the Gallaudet College in Washington, D.C. in 1864, which remains the only liberal arts college for deaf people in the U.S. and in the world. That information can be found at www.uic.edu. Aristotle had a theory that people can only learn through hearing spoken language. For this reason, deaf people were not treated like humans because they weren't knowledgeable. In some countries, they were denied their fundamental rights, like buying property and even getting married. Now, sign language is seen as a native communication and education method for deaf people, and that information can be found at deafwebsites.com. Sign language is an integral form of communication in the deaf community. With sign language, people who have difficulty speaking and learning can understand better because they aren't required to hear.
Slow down.
In every language in the world, such as English, French, Spanish, and etc., all have different forms of sign language. That information can be found at www.startamericansignlanguage.com. The signs of sign language usually represent a word. The sign mother is demonstrated with a person's hand and a 5 with the thumb pressed against the chin. And the sign father is demonstrated almost the same way as mother, except the thumb is pressed against the forehead. The sign boy is demonstrated by grabbing an imaginary cap on your head. And the sign girl is demonstrated by making the manual A for sign language and bringing your thumb all the way down to your chin from your ear. That information can be found at lifeprint.com. It's important for a parent or a caregiver to try to detect hearing loss as early as possible. The earlier it's discovered, the better the chance that it can be fixed. There are a few ways to test the hearing of a small child. One is to continue to call the name of the child and see how fast that they respond to their name. Another way is to watch the reaction of loud noises. If they jump, that means their hearing's okay. Some children may have hearing impairments, but they're not deaf. A way to tell this predicament is to listen how the child pronounces his consonants, like the T sound and the P sound. Once again, sign language is a language that allows the deaf people to communicate with the hearing world without feeling inconvenienced.